time for the sleigh ride. You already know. Don't ask any questions. Just listen and ride with us. Put your seatbelt on. And don't touch the music because that's reserved for Ron Slay. Ron Slay, what is going on, my man?
Swain, what up, baby? Yeah, you're exactly right, man. Don't just jump in this car, man. You know what I mean? Asking for the aux cord, trying to get the Bluetooth, trying to pair up. Ain't no need in syncing. Just get in here and enjoy the ride. And it's been one hell of a ride, baby.
That's right. That's right. Hey, you never touch a SEC Legends radio, man. Little Chris Tucker from Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Hey,
what's been going on, Swain?
We did not get the result we wanted over the weekend. And the sleigh ride is brought to you by Native Design and Hardscape here on a beautiful Tuesday. We didn't get the result we wanted, Ron, but Tennessee is still SEC regular season champions, and we're healthy, and that's a good lesson you can learn from the L versus Kentucky. It stinks because it's Kentucky, but to go on a run in the regular season, conference tournament, and in the NCAA tournament, that's tough, Ron. I mean, do you see any silver lining with losing Saturday versus Kentucky?
Yeah, man, I think, when you look at it, the silver lining is, like you just said, you're healthy going into the tournament play. You were able to accomplish your goals. So when you're going down your checklist, you hit a checkpoint of getting the SEC championship, you checking your box. I mean, do you want to win the rivalry game? Me, of all people, without question, I always want to beat Kentucky. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But in this one right here, man, this was the first time that a loss happened and I wasn't just totally upset. I mean, you look at it and you see the way Kentucky shot the ball. I thought that was, you're going up against one of the hottest teams in the country outside of, them taking that loss to LSU and the way it happened. But, man, them dudes just came out and hooped, man. They were playing really well. They played with nothing to lose, like they wanted some get back for the way they were embarrassed, and they got pride as well. So they got guys that are expected to go in the draft, and then you look at the game itself. Zakai got in foul trouble early, so he didn't get to set the table for other guys. The Kentucky guards were able to get into a rhythm. That helped. And, Cal with a chip on their shoulder, those guys played better. DJ Wagner was back for this one, even though in the stat column he didn't show like a real impact, but him being out there was a difference in the game as well. So Ugo down there defending the basket, Tennessee missing layups. It was almost like the perfect storm, man. But I will say, walking away from it, there was no hang your head moments for this team. It was all right, you won 7 in a row, however many it was, getting ready to go into conference tournament play. That's cool. Get a refocus, go in here, do what you got to do, and know that you still have an opportunity to accomplish all your goals. You didn't lose anything. That's for sure. That's one thing about it. You didn't lose anything. In a sense, you almost saw how important everybody is as pieces when it comes to Josiah Jordan-James, Santi Vescovi, Jemai Meshack, all the other guys that are involved outside of Dalton Knecht, how important they are for you to make a stretch run in this tournament play. And I think it was a more of a grab you, get your attention moment more so than, a hang your head, you lost type of moment.
Do you remember your senior day? And we got Ron Slay with this sleigh ride here. Do you remember your senior day and how you kind of got over those emotions of playing your last game inside of Thompson-Boling Arena then, Food City Center now, and how did you do that? I feel like that played a big part in how the guys came out and played. Even guys that were not seniors, they still have brothers on the team who are seniors. I felt like they still shared that emotional moment with them, and I thought it affected the whole team. Did you have that experience when you played?
Absolutely. And I also believe walking in this situation, theirs was totally different. Already having the SEC championship locked up for the regular season, already having the 1 seed locked up because you handled your work before getting to this moment. You did what you were supposed to do to be able to get to this, to get your round of applause, your standing ovation, a tour, a round of the base tour, if you will. When you're looking at it, round of applause, like whatever you want to call it, man. You walk into this situation. I was looking back at mine, and going into the game, I believe we were playing Mississippi State, and we needed to get wins in order to get off the bubble. So it was way more hanging over us and on our shoulders than it was for this Tennessee team. This right here was, I thought was a send off. Yeah, you would like to win, but you walk into this and you can take as long as you want to rounding the bases. Ain't no hurry up. And another thing is you always have an allotted time set aside for you to do senior day, and it can run a little bit over, or it can go unexpected and end soon. I thought coming out for my senior day that I was going to be like, man, give me 2 minutes. That's all I need. Yep. You know what I mean? I'm going to raise my jersey up. I'm going back in there. I'm ready to locked in. I'm ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Man, once you walked out there, man, you get flooded with emotions, especially having the season that these guys have had. You walked out there and get full of emotions, man. You looking around the arena and seeing all of our nation out there, and they're giving you a standing ovation, dog. It hits you. You know what I mean? And you got the people right there that helped you along the way for that journey, whether it be coaches, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, whatever it is. And you get overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed. Like I remember tearing up a little bit. I mean, that's why I brought my towel. I wanted to wear my towel on my head. My grandmother made me take it off. You know what I mean? So they couldn't see me cry. But man, I got out there, dog, and I kind of lost it, dog. And you remember all the injuries, you know what I mean, being doubted, being able to have success. And then at the time, the run that I was on for SEC Player of the Year, that meant a lot coming off of an ACL, you know what I'm saying, and being counted out. So it all kind of just hit me, man. And, you know, I was able to refocus, and we were able to pull it out against Mississippi State. But I could only imagine if we had already had a tournament berth locked up, the number 1 seed, the SEC player, the All-American, like all of this stuff. Ain't no telling what I would have done. You know what I mean? It would have been more than just raising my jersey over my head and shedding a few tears. But kudos to these guys, man. Great job for Vol Nation coming out, giving them a standing ovation and understanding that it is more to be accomplished. And it doesn't all come down to just one game.
You know, when you're an athlete at a very, very high level, the last thing you want to do is show any sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, when you're a young man, you feel like, you know, crying is a sign of weakness, and really it's a sign of strength. But the last thing you want to be doing before you play a football or basketball game or any type of competitive event is be out there crying before the event, right? But you can't help it, and you try to hide it. Like when you're tired, you don't want the opponent to know you're tired. When you hurt, you don't want people to know you're hurt. You're so used to hiding those things, but you can't during senior day. They will get you. Those emotions will win, and they just come out, man. It's like a fire hydrant exploding. Yeah, man. And then you got to go play. So I thought that impacted us a lot there, Ron. I do want to get your take when we come back from break on Dalton Knecht, man. He shot the most he shot in one single game versus Kentucky. Rick Barnes talked about getting other players involved and how it would help him. Also, Santiago Vescovi, how do we get him going? How does he get himself going? How important is it for him to be able to make shots for this team to advance as far as possible? We will discuss more with one of the best players ever to wear the orange, and that is Ron Slay. It is the Slay Ride, brought to you by Native Design and Hardscape here on Josh and Swain. It's fun when you're winning, man. It's fun when your team go out there and win the regular season championship. And watching Dalton Knecht, it makes me think, Ron, about the interview that Allen Iverson did where he talked about his role on the 76ers. And you remember AI took that team to the 2001 NBA Finals, won the first game versus the Lakers. He steps over Tyronn Lue, and then from there they get beat down. But, there was no way, Allen Iverson was going to win a championship with that team, with him doing all the work. But he shot the ball a lot. And one thing he said was, listen, if I get a ball to you early in the shot clock and you don't do nothing with it, and I get that thing and it's about 10 seconds to go, you already know what I'm about to do with it. I'm about to put it up. So if you can't make a bucket early, you give it to me, I'm putting it up. I feel like with Dalton Knecht during our Kentucky game, and we've seen it in other games where other dudes just for whatever reason the ball wasn't going into the basket, we wasn't making things happen in the paint, and Dalton said, "All right, I got you."
Yeah.
But he did shoot the ball a lot, and there's been a narrative that it was a one-man team. I don't think that, and I don't think that people just sit around and watch him play. But how do you manage? How do you balance being the best scorer on your team, best player, but at the same time doing a really good job of getting your teammates involved? How do you balance that?
Well, I think you hit it on the head. When you talked about him taking a high volume of shots, a lot of times, man, when you're in the flow of the game and you know what you can do and you get the matchup, man, it's like I'm not going to sit around and wait. That's been his attitude all year long. Like, and I don't expect it to stop. I wouldn't want it to stop.
No.
What I would want to happen is other guys become more aggressive as well. Like, so the pump faking, getting in the lane and turning down a good shot to get a better shot, it doesn't always work, and it's not always the main objective of the offense and the ball moving. Sometimes when it's stagnant, the best offense is putting the ball on the rim and letting guys go get active and get the ball off the basket, off the basket, and being able to get a putback, or getting an opportunity to get Tobe and Jonas Adu, who are great rebounders. Also, Josiah Jordan-James, great rebounders, and getting a kick-out three. Sometimes that's your best offense, especially when you got a team rolling like Kentucky was rolling. Imagine if Dalton Knecht wasn't taking them shots and hitting them. Like, that game that could have easily been a 30-point game for Kentucky. No ifs, ands, or buts. The way they were shooting the ball, they were pulling up on fast break. This ain't the time for us to be, let's run an offense or try to get something. Like, no, man, it's time to hoop. And you got a real live hooper on your team. And you also got to keep in mind, Zakai was in foul trouble.
Yep.
Zakai only averages like 2 fouls a game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect that to be a trend moving forward. But in this case, in order to stay afloat, I thought Dalton Knecht had to take those shots. If nobody else is going to take them, if somebody else is going to take them, then guess what? They would have. I don't think this is a situation you sit back and say, hey, man, come on, Santi, we need you. No, you see what's going on. You know what's happening. You're in the game. Just happen to be missing shots. Now, I did think in the first half, Josiah did turn down some shots, and we saw he hit the three at the end of half and came out and got aggressive and hit the first three to start. Start that way. This is not a fill you out of situation. You are a 1 seed. You are the big dog. This is no time for you to be waiting to see how this team is going to respond. You go out there and throw 2 punches. And I think that's got to be the mindset and the mentality, because one thing for sure, that's Zakai's, that's Dalton Knecht's, that's their mindset. We're going to hit you in the mouth first. And if anybody's just going to sit around and wait, then we're not letting this ship go down without shooting. We're going to shoot our shot. So you have some guys that are passive aggressive with their attitude, and I think you see who those guys are. And you got some guys that are the guys that's going to stand front line and swing and not counter. You got some guys that's going to punch with Zakai and Dalton. You just need other guys to, when they have the opportunity, to make those shots and understand that you're not going to get a high volume, because you got some guys that are looking for those opportunities to get going. And you need that. You need that balance. That's the balance in itself.
Ron Slay with us. How do you get Santiago Vescovi going? I mean, he a grown man. I mean, a lot of it is getting yourself going, but how does he get himself going?
He has to shoot the ball. I think it was numerous occasions in that Kentucky game that he did the pump fake, got into the lane and created. He's also, what you got to understand with Santi, I believe, he's a cerebral basketball player. Like, he's going to make the play, the right play. And what we've grown to love from Santi may not necessarily be who he was. He was thrust into that role of being able to shoot the ball the way he was because no one else would. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to see you got to get a little taste of it with Kennedy Chandler, and be able to have him take the ball and all right, Kennedy, we're gonna go 1 for a flat, man. Go get a bucket. But when Kennedy left, that's kind of where it was. It was, you know, you needed Santi to be that guy to depend on scoring, and you had to run sets for him to get the because you can't give Santi the ball on the wing and say, hey man, go beat your man 1-on-1. That's not his strength. Him being able to knock down open shots, take a high volume of shots, being able to come off curls and things of that nature, run the pick and roll, make the right play. That's what he is. I mean, I think because of the situation, he answered the bell and became first team All-SEC because of the situation he was in. That don't mean he wanted to be that. I mean, that's not who his personality was to me. I think he's more of a fill the void guy. You know what I mean? And a really, really good one at that too. And you know, when you have less shots, you got to become more efficient. So I think it's up to him to be aggressive and when coming out, look for his shot a little bit more and understand that you can knock that pull up down too. I know the mid-range game is something that a lot of people are not with, but a lot of times his head fake works. And that one dribble pull up, we ain't seen that one dribble sidestep as of late, but a lot of times you see him take that one dribble, he could pull up, but he takes another dribble to draw the defense. And what does he do? Kick to an open man. The problem is a lot of times that open man does the pump fake again as well and does the same thing Santi does. So I just think, man, it's all about being aggressive, but you don't want him to be doing stuff out of his character either. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden you see Santi out here jacking shots. You know what I mean? Like that's not necessarily what you want. You'd rather him play the right way. Just make the shots that you do take. However you got to do it in warm-ups, get you a good sweat going, know where your spots are, and continue to play like that. Because I don't want him to take away from Zakai. I don't want him to take away from Adu. I don't want to take away from Gainey when he comes in. Don't want him to take away definitely from Dalton Knecht, because this man right here is unconscious, and all he need to do is see one go in. And we know what kind of mindset he gives, and they ride that. So yeah, I think Santi got to figure out on his own. I don't think it's nothing Coach Barnes can do, the coaching staff, but in continue to motivate him and pat him on the back and tell him, you know what I mean, we need you. And he knows it, man. This man a fifth-year guy. This ain't no freshman that you're trying to get out of a slump or nothing. He been here before. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it. You don't need nobody to coddle him and tell him what's going to be good. He know what it is. He done been through the ups and the downs.
Ron, you think Alabama wins the SEC if Latrell Wrightsell Jr. plays? Nate Oates, after their win versus Arkansas, talked about making a run in the SEC tournament. He said, we would have had a league championship if he hadn't gone down. That's some of the adversity we've got to play through. We didn't win a league championship, so let's get ourselves back together and let's compete for a tournament championship. When I saw these comments, I was like, hold on now, Nate. Hold on now. You lost twice to Tennessee, once with Latrell Wrightsell, who did not light the scoreboard up. How do you feel about his comments?
I look at it as him motivating his team. Yeah, that's all it is. Some good coach talk. I always under the impression that ifs and fifths are always at the corner store. You always got guys with ifs that you can walk into, and when you walk out the corner store, you done got your little bag of chips and a drink. They out there telling them same stories. Man, you should have seen me when I was in school. If I did this, if I did that, and of course, you know where the fifths come in. That they sitting right there with a fifth in their hand drinking. So all them ifs and fifths remain right there at the corner store, and you can get a whole bunch of them. That's where those comments remain right there for Nate Oates. You look at it, Tennessee could say the same thing. If Zakai was healthy, I felt like they was ready to make a run last year in the tournament as well. No, I mean, it's part of it, dog. That's part of the season. We didn't hear South Carolina complaining last year when Coach Paris never came out and said, if I would have had my guys, boy, we could have been vying for that number one spot like we were this year. No, man, you roll through it. You know what I mean? Don't make excuses. You got beat. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's part of it. The better team won. The right team won the championship because of the schedule they played, because of what they did, the wins and losses. It all plays itself out. You ain't gonna get no extra added, um, no extra added championship or extra little gold ball on your championship if y'all would have won it without right sale, and you wouldn't have brought up, man, we did this without right sale. Like, come on, man, I don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of that pays the bills for me.
Sleigh ride. Ooh, boy, having a good old time. Big thanks to Native Design and Hardscape for making the sleigh ride possible. Y'all all right over there in Nashville? Derrick Henry just signed with the Ravens. You good over there, Slay?
Hey, man, I am great, man. This is gonna give us some great content again today, man. It's so weird, man, watching it happen. And a lot of times I'm gonna come from the professional athletes perspective, the athletes in general perspective of a lot of things. And man, my whole thing is, what else did you want from Derrick Henry? Like, it was a situation where you brought in a new coaching staff, new management, and Derrick Henry gave you every ounce that he had.
Everything
here. Like, I mean, he didn't sell you short. He went on to a situation where 2 years, $16 million can get up to $20 million. I think with the number being $8 million, that's what everybody locks in on. Like, they should have gave him the $8 million and did what though? Help rebuild a situation where this young man is on the field and he's going to get the ball and run. So they load the box up again. In this situation with Baltimore, it's totally different. You don't have that style of quarterback here with the Titans. You don't have that O-line. You don't have that entire running, beat you up, punch you in the mouth scheme as far as the personnel goes with the Titans. You do have that with the Ravens. So it was great for him to move on to that spot. Now, I understand the rivalry and everything, but, dog, looking at it from the player's perspective, dog, that's what you want. I mean, that you go where you can go get a ring, try to stamp that Hall of Fame jacket a little bit more, and I don't expect him to be able to go get like what the Titans fans thinking. Oh man, with Lamar Jackson, he really finna run for 2,000 yards. That's not the way they work. That team is built around Lamar. This ain't Derrick Henry's team that he's walking to. This is another piece in the puzzle for the Baltimore Ravens. Mark Andrews still gonna get his touches. Lamar still gonna orchestrate the offense. He's still gonna put it up for Bateman. Like, you still got Zay Flowers. Like, you still got guys and pieces around where you can be a key cog for them moving forward. But that's not what you were gonna get if they would have paid $8 million and you got so many other holes to fill for the Tennessee Titans. You got at least 15 spots you need to fill and guys you need to re-sign. $8 million to a running back that's already peaked, that's right there at the climax of his career, about to head on the other down slope. That's I ain't gonna say a one-trick pony and dog him, but when running the ball, when he's in the game, you know he's gonna run, so defenses can plan for it. At some point, you got to move on, man. And I understand the love affair. I love him too, but if you want to move on and come into to this century of playing football and where the game is, it's that time.
Yeah, it is. Ron Slay on the sleigh ride with us. Are we
They're
headed
crazy on Twitter?
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I had to ask you. Are we headed for a Tennessee-Kentucky rematch in the SEC tournament? It looks like those are the two best teams playing the best right now. Auburn is fourth according to KenPom, so we know how good Auburn is. But are we? If you had to put money on it, Tennessee, Kentucky, is that your favorite to match up in the finals?
Yeah, I would bet on them. I would bet on them to go through the conference tournament and, end up with them being on opposite ends of the bracket. I do say, man, both teams, they got a gauntlet to run through to get there.
Yep.
When you look at Kentucky, where they are, they got Florida that should be coming out playing Alabama. Kentucky, they'll get an opportunity to play against Ole Miss or A&M, and either one of those teams, when rolling, can offer matchup problems, especially defensively. Ole Miss, they have the personnel to offer problems, but don't nearly do it. And that's a shame because with Chris Beard teams, you expect them to be able to get it going, and they just haven't. This will be a rematch of the season-ending matchup between A&M. A&M, we know what Buzz Williams brings, and when Boots Radford and Wade Taylor are rolling, and you're in a neutral site, and that defense is playing the way where they are, they can make it difficult on you. So if you're not shooting 15 for 29, this could be a different type of game plan against A&M. I do expect Kentucky to get over that hump, but whoever they play, whether it be Alabama or Florida, that's going to be a doozy too, man. Like those matchups with Florida shown that they can beat them. Alabama shown that they can beat them. Like it's going to be different, man, trying to get there to that championship game. And then on the Tennessee side, you got Auburn and South Carolina right there. And you can't sleep on Mississippi State, the way they play. So both teams don't have to go through a gauntlet to reach that conference championship. And if both teams do reach it, I expect fireworks, man. I expect it to be a really, really good game, and I expect it to be a game of runs and not necessarily who comes out with that first half knockout blow. I don't think that in a sense lets you know who's going to win the game. I think that second half run is that's going to tell the tale of who's going to win the SEC tournament championship.
Ron, are we going to see the bench for Tennessee show up more? I'm looking at the box score here, and we got 40 from Dalton. We got 17 from ZZ. We got 11 from Adu. That's a lot of points right there. What's that, 68 out of 81? Toby Walker, 1 point. Gainey, 2. Meshack, 2. Ron, help me out here, man.
Swain, I have no help for you. You did that math all by yourself. That does equal 5. Like that's it. I don't know who else to pull from, man. I do think though they are a different team when you get a guy like Gainey to come off with the pop that he does, that 9 or 10 points that you can't account for. Meshack to go and get some easy buckets, and go get his 6 or 8. Toby Walker, you don't know what he can get. He can go anywhere from 8 to 15. Adding in 8 to 10 boards. So with his time spent, you got to have somebody else, Freddie DeLeon, Estrella, someone else step up. And I almost wonder. I don't know if it's too late in the season, but if you were to tweak the lineup and you were to bring a guy, if you wanted to try to find a way for Santi to, air quotations, get going, would you throw a guy like Meshack in the starting lineup? Or because you're not losing anything defensively if you bring Meshack in for Santi. You are taking out something offensively, but on the same token, Santi's not giving you that outburst anyway from points, so you really wouldn't be losing nothing. But for him to come from a reserve role in with the second team, man, that could be a little slick dangerous for teams to have to deal with. Santi coming off the bench with that same green light that he's always had, and not necessarily knowing that he has to create for other guys. Like now you're expected to be the microwave. So imagine him and Gainey coming off at the same time. Man, while other defenses are a little bit tired, or you got those second guys in for rotations, leaving them open, not necessarily having the defensive mindset. When he's a starter, you kind of forget about him. He could make some teams pay. I don't know if it's too late to tweak that. That would be something. I wonder if they talked about that, as coaches, and I'm sure they have. But that would be something to play with, man, in this SEC tournament. Because you never know. You may strike gold. And, boy, that's a whole different punch, man, because you automatically go from getting outplayed on the bench a lot of the times to having an opportunity to fight. If you can go get 18 to 24 points from your bench, that's different right there, man. And those two guys could do it. So, had to see.
That was a point that was brought up on the text box yesterday by a listener. Really good point, but I thought it was maybe a little too late. But hey, do it in the tournament, see what happens. And if you fall short, oh well, you get more rest for the NCAA tournament. So you already won the regular season championship outright. I know you want to win the conference tournament. I get it. But at the end of the day, we know the big goal here, and that is to get to the Final Four and win the whole dang thing. Got to get your take, Ron, on Dalton Knecht, Player of the Year. Yeah. Zakai Ziegler, Defensive Player of the Year. Jonas Adu, All-SEC second team. We will save the best for last. The sleigh ride is coming to a creep. We was rolling. We was going about 85 on 40. But we slowing it down, man. We going slow for the last segment here with Ron Slay, thanks to Native Design and Hardscape. Dalton Knecht, Zakai Ziegler, Jonas Adu, recognized on All-SEC team. Knecht, Ziegler, your Player of the Year and Defense Player of the Year. Which one of those awards stand out to you? They both have an unbelievable story, Ron, as we're joined by Ron Slay, SEC Network, Slay Ride, brought to you by Native Design and Hardscape. Which one of those awards stand out to you the most? They both stand out, though.
Yeah, without question. I think both of them encompass both of who they are. One, Dalton Knecht, the spree that he was on, taking the league by storm, being the best player in the league. And according to Bruce Pearl, automatically, if he wins that, he is the best player on the best team in the league. So I guess that's a tip of the cap from Auburn. And then when you're looking at Zakai Ziegler, that's who he is. The defensive player of the year, he's the captain of the ship. He sets the tone defensively for these guys. I know a lot of times this goes to guys that are protecting the rim, but he's a guy that protects the entire court from the inbounds. Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe when you're around Zakai, even if he's not guarding you. Being from help side, being able to come steal the ball, that is who he is. And I think if you could pick, if you told these guys you could pick, of course, everybody want to be SEC Player of the Year, but if you could pick, I think he would point at that. This is what I do. I disturb the offense from other teams and make them really have to go about planning not only for our team, but me specifically as far as defense goes. So I think both of them, it encompasses both of those.
Got about 60 to 90 seconds here, but Slay, if Tennessee wins national championship or Dalton Knecht is a career record holder of a significant category at Tennessee, SEC or national level, he will have completed 3 of the 5 necessary criteria items to have his jersey retired. He's already won SEC Player of the Year, and he's already locked down first-team All-American. How crazy is that?
Dude, that's nuts. Wow. I can't even put it in words, man. Like the work that he's put in, the team allowing him to be who he is, the coaches allowing him to come and thrive in a system, man, and then him having the wherewithal to go out and complete this and do it every single game. Like I don't think people understand how difficult that is to go through a league when the tape is already out on you, starting with that exhibition game, and to continue to build on and add more steam. Dog, that's special. That is special. And if he went and got either National Player of the Year or win a national title, I don't see what the argument is. I don't understand why. I don't even understand why you're going to wait. I don't understand the wait on him to retire. Like, dog, if the work is there, man, put them jerseys up in the air. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Grant shouldn't have to wait. Chris Lawton shouldn't have had to wait. And damn sure Dalton Knecht shouldn't have to wait. Go on and retire them right then and there, dog. Put the jet in the air. Make sure they get there. Do what you got to do. It's special.
Very special. Special like this segment, man. Special like this hour because of the Slay Ride. Ron Slay, man, big thanks to you. I know you're going to have a busy, busy week in your city, man. Basketball is coming to you, and you're going to be in paradise as the SEC tournament takes place in Nashville, man. We look forward to chopping up with you here soon.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. It's starting up tomorrow. The buzz is in the city, and the team started to roll in today. So it's going down, man. It is going down. I will be checking in 3 times a day with you guys right there on the Sports Animal, though. So, you know what I mean? Hey, y'all be ready for me. The sleigh ride. It's coming
ready.
through.
We ready.
Yeah.
We stay ready so we don't have to get ready. So,
absolutely.
Hey, big thanks to you, man. Thank you for your time. Look forward to talking to you here soon.
Appreciate it, Swain.